Have you ever locked eyes with an animal and felt something strange? Not whether it likes you. Not whether it is scared of you. But whether it is actually trying to figure out what on earth you are. Because here is the thing nobody talks about. While you are busy wondering what animals think, animals are busy studying you. Every single day. With senses so sharp that you would not believe what they are picking up. And what they conclude about you is nothing like what you think. You see yourself as a person. A human being with a name and a job and a complicated inner life. Animals do not see any of that. They cannot read your passport. They do not care about your salary. They cannot Google you. What they can do is smell you from half a mile away. Hear your heartbeat change when you are nervous. Notice the exact way your body moves when you are confident versus when you are afraid. They are not reading your mind. They are reading everything else. So forget the question of whether animals understand humans. That is too simple. The real question is far more interesting. What kind of creature do animals actually think we are? Let us start with the animal that has spent the longest time trying to figure us out. The dog. Dogs have been living alongside humans for somewhere between 15,000 and 40,000 years. That is a very long time to study something. And in that time dogs have developed abilities that no other animal on Earth has. They can follow the direction of a human pointing finger. No other animal does this naturally. Not even chimpanzees, who share 98% of our DNA. They can read human facial expressions. They know the difference between a happy face and an angry face. They can detect changes in your biochemistry. Dogs can smell when your blood sugar drops. They can smell cancer. They can smell fear before you even know you feel it. But here is what dogs do not think. They do not think you are a dog. They figured that out a very long time ago. You smell wrong. You move wrong. You have absolutely terrible hearing. And you only have 2 legs, which to a dog must look deeply suspicious. What a dog actually thinks of you is something more interesting than that. To a dog you are a bizarre but incredibly important creature. You control the food. You control when the door opens. You control when the walk happens. You are unpredictable in ways that require constant monitoring. You need to be greeted enthusiastically every single time you come home because your return is genuinely exciting. In a dog's social world you are essentially a very large, very useful pack member who cannot smell anything and needs to be managed carefully. Cats have a completely different opinion. And honestly, their opinion of you might be slightly insulting. Scientists who study cat behavior have discovered something remarkable. Cats do not meow at other cats. Adult cats almost never make that sound to communicate with each other. They hiss. They chirp. They make a range of other sounds. But they meow specifically at humans. Which means cats invented a new communication system just for us. They looked at us and thought, this creature is too simple to understand normal cat language, so let me develop something even more basic. That sound your cat makes when it wants food at 6 a.m.? That is a specially designed signal built entirely around your limitations. In a cat's worldview you are a large, slow creature with useful hands and an unfortunately predictable schedule. You can be manipulated with the right sounds. You provide warmth and food and entertainment. You require training, but you are capable of learning if you are consistent. Your cat is not living in your house. You are living in its house and paying rent in the form of food and belly rubs. Now let us talk about horses. Because horses see us in one of the most fascinating ways of any animal. Horses are prey animals. Their entire survival for millions of years depended on one skill above all others. Reading body language. Not words. Not intentions. Not what you say. What your body is doing right now in this exact moment. Here is what a horse sees when it looks at you. Forward-facing eyes. That is predator territory. Cats have forward-facing eyes. Lions have forward-facing eyes. Everything that has ever wanted to eat a horse has forward-facing eyes. And so do you. You also approach directly. Straight line. Head forward. Another predator signal. Everything about your basic design screams, I am a hunting animal, to a horse. And yet you bring carrots. You bring grooming. You spend time calmly standing near them for no obvious reason. You do not chase them. You do not eat them. To a horse you are the most confusing creature that has ever existed. You look like a predator, but you act like a very strange friend. It takes time for a horse to decide that your confusing mixed signals are actually safe. When a horse finally trusts you, it is not a small thing. It is an animal that has decided to override millions of years of survival instinct because of how you made it feel. Now here is where things get genuinely strange. Crows. Crows have a brain the size of a walnut. They are also arguably smarter than most animals on this list, and possibly smarter than some humans you know. Crows can use tools. They can plan for the future. They can solve multi-step problems. They can recognize human faces with extraordinary precision. And they hold grudges. If you are mean to a crow, it will remember your face for years. It will teach other crows to avoid you. Researchers at the University of Washington discovered that crows would scold specific researchers who had previously trapped them while ignoring researchers they had never encountered. A crow does not see you as just a human. It sees you as a specific individual with a history and a reputation. To a crow you are a large clumsy creature with no wings and a face it will never forget. If you are kind to crows they will bring you gifts. Small shiny objects. Pieces of metal. Buttons. Crows have brought gifts to people who fed them regularly. They seem to understand that you gave them something and that something should go the other way. A crow is essentially running a small economy based entirely on social debt. Wild animals see us differently again. A deer does not wonder about your personality. A deer does not care where you went to school. A deer looks at you and runs one very fast calculation. Threat or not a threat. That is it. But in cities something interesting is happening. Urban animals are developing entirely new relationships with humans. Foxes. Raccoons. Pigeons. Squirrels. These animals have been watching us long enough to draw some very specific conclusions. Humans are large. Humans are usually harmless. Humans drop food. Humans have containers full of food that can be opened with enough persistence. Humans follow predictable patterns and can be worked around. A city raccoon has effectively figured out that your entire civilization is a complicated machine for producing garbage. And garbage is food. So from a raccoon's perspective, human society is one of the greatest achievements in the history of the earth. A city squirrel may not see you as a person at all. It sees you as a large slow obstacle that occasionally produces peanuts. And then there is the octopus. The octopus deserves its own category entirely. An octopus has 9 brains. 1 central brain and 1 in each arm. Its arms can taste and smell what they touch. It sees colors despite being colorblind. It experiences the world in ways we have barely begun to understand. And yet some octopuses in aquariums develop clear preferences for specific humans. They behave differently around keepers they like versus keepers they do not. Some have been documented squirting water at staff members they find annoying. An octopus has decided whether it likes you or not. It has formed an opinion of you as an individual. And if it does not like you, it will make sure you know about it. To an octopus you are probably a large predictable creature on the other side of the glass who controls whether interesting things happen or not. You are neither predator nor prey. You are something completely new that evolution never prepared it for. And somehow it figured you out anyway. Here is the thing that all of this adds up to. Animals are not trying to understand what you are in the philosophical sense. They are not wondering about your consciousness or your feelings or your place in the universe. They are doing something more practical. They are learning your pattern. Dogs learn that the sound of keys means you are leaving. Cats learn that the smell of a specific bag means the vet. Crows learn which face belongs to which kind of person. Raccoons learn which bins open and which ones do not. Every animal you have ever encountered has filed you away somewhere in its memory as a specific kind of creature with specific behaviors and specific predictability. You are not a mystery to them. You are a pattern. And what pattern you present is entirely up to you. Every time you are around an animal you are teaching it something. Not with words. With behavior. With consistency. With the energy you bring into a space. Animals have been watching humans for as long as we have been here. They have had a very long time to form opinions. The only question is what they have decided about you specifically.